So Savannah James, who is soon to be the ex-wife of LeBron James, seems to not be letting up. Savannah James is inching closer and closer to signing them divorce papers and separating from LeBron James. She once again exposes LeBron James for him not being a great husband, saying that although she was in a relationship and had a partner, she still felt alone. But here's what the article says. This article is per Athlon Sports. The headline reads, Savannah James reveals how she started to, quote, started to disappear during tough times with LeBron James' family. The article goes on to say, much like any other relationship, however, the Jameses have also gone through their fair share of tough times. In a recent guest appearance on the Tamron Hall show, Savannah James opened up about one of the hardships she personally had to go through during the pandemic. In a previous interview with Harper's Bazaar, the 38-year-old made a bold statement and wherein she admitted, quote, if I'm working from a glass half empty, I'm not good to anybody. It says Miss James was asked to shed light on this quote, which she openly discussed on the show. Savannah James goes on to say, quote, I think it was acknowledgement, she said, about coping with her mental health issues, knowing that sometimes I felt depleted and I wasn't being the best version of a mother of myself to my husband. It was just hard to be fully present. So I started to disappear. She goes on to say, this was during COVID. My kids were good. LeBron was good, somewhere doing something. I would disappear into my bathroom and I just take a bath or watch a makeup tutorial, which I love so much, or just take time for myself and doing something that I enjoy. Well, while Savannah James is concerned about her glass being half empty, LeBron James is getting his glass filled up at the Diddy parties. And what's ironic about the word glass is if you take the GL off, that's what LeBron James is getting filled up at the Diddy parties. And Savannah James talking about she disappeared. When did LeBron James become David Blaine? When did he become a magician? LeBron James is so horrible, he made his own wife disappear. And Savannah James needs to be careful around LeBron James and when she uses words such as disappear, because there's a lot of lost souls because of LeBron James. I do believe that LeBron James was involved in what happened with Kobe Bryant and the helicopter crash, allegedly, and 9 people tragically losing their lives. A lot of people have disappeared because of LeBron James. Now, what is it about LeBron James that's not making only his teammates, not only just his coaches, have mental health issues, but even his wife is telling you that she's having a mental breakdown? What is it about LeBron James? He's like this disease that creep inside you and destroy you. He's like a cancer. I guess we should change his name now to LeCancer James. This woman is literally saying she felt depleted, defeated, and this article cannot be deleted. But Savannah James isn't saying anything no different than what along the lines of what Aisha Curry is saying. Her husband isn't giving her that acknowledgement. Why? Because he's dropping it low, girl. Drop it low, girl. At the Diddy freak-offs. Savannah James, it's time to call it quits. LeBron James is not interested in women. He does not want you, Savannah James. He wants Adam Silver. He wants P. Diddy. He wants Draymond Green. He wants Jay-Z. They partake in these all-white Illuminati parties where they blood sacrifice little children. But are you guys not seeing these patterns, this consistent pattern of players, coaches, relationships, whatever may have you, where LeBron James is making these people have mental breakdowns? She said she literally felt depleted. She said that she wasn't being the best version of herself. Doesn't that sound very familiar? Kevin Love just recently said that he wasn't the best version of himself of what he was when he played for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Kyrie Irving wasn't the best version of himself. Tyronn Lue needed some time off as a coach. All these guys are having mental breakdowns because he utilized the media to destroy them. LeBron James is the worst husband in husband history. You're not making her feel like the great woman that she is, LeBron James. See, this is not black love. This is whack love. LeBron James is so boring in the bedroom and so trash as a husband, not just a basketball player, but even his own wife. She would just take a bath or watch makeup tutorials. She needs to be watching tutorials on how she can find a better man. LeBron James is losing on and off the court. Savannah James is sick and tired of bending over backwards for LeBron James. She's tired of being a good woman. LeBron James never compliments Savannah James. When Savannah James steps out and she's looking extra beautiful, the first thing LeBum James does is he compliments himself. He says, "Oh wow, babe, don't I look good?" Savannah James knows the real LeBum James. She knows that LeBum James is not who the media portrays himself to be. LeBum James is self-centered. There are no family portraits of the James family in his house. It's only pictures of LeBum James in all the stages of his career. That's all he cares about is himself. Savannah James is trying to break free from LeBum James, but she's having a hard time because she doesn't want to be judged within the media. She doesn't want to seem like the bad person and everyone attack her, but she knows that LeBum James is the problem. She's getting sick and tired of LeBum James cheating on her. LeBum James is more than likely physically, mentally, and spiritually abusive to Savannah James. But it seems as though Savannah James has struck again. She has struck again publicly, addressing her issues with LeBum James and their tumultuous relationship. And boy, do I tell you, Savannah James, it seems like she's transforming into Ayesha Curry every single day. The very same things that Ayesha Curry get criticized for, Savannah James is going on record on podcasts doing the exact same thing, but she's not receiving the same backlash and scrutiny. She's on a podcast basically bad-mouthing her husband, making him look bad. She's even wearing revealing clothes, wearing very provocative clothes, and she has her butt out. Now, when Ayesha Curry takes a picture like this, Ayesha Curry is the worst woman in the world. Everybody attacks Ayesha Curry. Savannah James is moving as if she wants attention from other men. They would have said, "Ayesha Curry, you literally have a good man at home. You're desperate for attention." But Savannah James, you literally have all the money in the world and you're still complaining within your relationship. You're still talking about being depressed. And I get it. The bronzexuals be so quick to respond and say, "Oh, hey, just because she has money, money doesn't bring happiness. She can still be unhappy." But do you guys not see the double standards? The double standards is truly remarkable, which is why I constantly come after LeBum James, because he's always painted in a positive light as if he's this perfect role model, as if he doesn't have any skeletons in his closet, which is why I constantly report news and report gossip about LeBum James, because I want to expose the darker side and a side that isn't getting coverage within the media, because he has paid and bought the media to paint him as this philanthropist, as this perfect husband. Let this have been Ayesha Curry or Kobe Bryant and his wife. The ESPNs, the TMZs, the shade rooms of the world would go above and beyond to slander Kobe Bryant and his marriage, and to make it seem like his marriage is fall apart and that Kobe Bryant is at the center as to why the relationship is going downhill. But because LeBum James is protected by the secret society, he's heavily protected, and they'll continue to paint LeBum James in a positive light with nothing but positive coverage. But not over here. We cook LeBum James on this channel. We cook LeBum James like some lamb chops. But Savannah James appears to be at her wit's end when it comes to LeBum James. Savannah James says that she's starting to feel like Glorilla in that song Hold On. Gave him chance after chance after chance, Bron, no. Savannah James says that she's trying to get on her sexy red. F her baby dad. F her baby dad. F her baby dad. She ain't in the house sad. But Savannah James says she's trying to be outside. See, LeBum James is in those back rooms at the freak-offs with politicians and with Adam Silver, which is why LeBum James constantly is able to win 4 rigged RBA titles. And I don't know if LeBum James keeps his ears to the street or if he's aware what's being said about him, but I never heard not another female or male ever say LeBum James and Savannah James were relationship goals. LeBum James could never be a relationship goal. He's more like an irritation to my soul. LeBum James has 5 rigged rings, the 4 that he won in the RBA. And the 5th one is fraudulent because ultimately his wife isn't happy.